Staples Center in Los Angeles, and we welcome you to Game 5 of the best-of-7 first-round NBA playoff series, with the Los Angeles Lakers leading the Houston Rockets 3-1. Now a look at our McDonald's starting lineups, with Jim Jackson, who has been rebounding well, Kelvin Cato, Yao Ming, Cuttino Mobley, and Steve Francis having a very good first-round series. And the Lakers with Devin George starting for a second consecutive game. Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant arrived here less than an hour ago, and Gary Payton coming off his best playoff game in a Laker uniform. Mike Dunleavy is alongside us tonight. Doug Collins is in our hotel here in Los Angeles, resting and getting his voice back and ready for tomorrow night in Sacramento. And partner, we miss you, but we got a good one in your place. And Mike Dunleavy, you've seen these teams, you've coached against these teams. Early on, what will you be looking for from both these teams to start the game?
Well, see how they're going to feel each other out first. I mean, the strength of the Rockets is they've got 7-1, 7-6 in the middle, try and clog up the paint, make the Lakers, other than Shaq and Kobe, score points. The Rockets they need to score points. They've got to get out in the open court, push the envelope a little bit, try and get the big two in foul trouble.
Yeah, defense has not been a problem for Houston.
No, they're a great defensive team. They're going to clog the paint. Shaq on attack right away, and his shot block on the weak side by Cato.
Our officials tonight, Danny Crawford, Monty McCutcheon, and Tom Washington. An elimination game for the Houston Rockets. If they lose, they are gone. If they win, there will be another game played in Houston on Saturday.
Lakers, one of the toughest teams in the league, end out of bounds. When they park Shaq right underneath the basket, he's able to sit in there for more than 3 seconds.
Gary Payton, who had 13 points in Game 4. Kobe Bryant for 3. And a rebound inside collected by Jim Jackson, who has been playing some outstanding basketball, coming off a 20-rebound game in Game 4. And Cuttino Mobley stinks off the baseline and around Kobe Bryant.
Well, Mobley didn't settle for a long jumper. He went in attack mode right at Kobe, seeing what the effects of the plane travel might have on him.
Here's Karl Malone, a 30-point performance in Game 4. Great pass from Payton inside.
Well, see, Cato is playing soft, giving him the jumper. He made the inside cut in the baseline, and normally you want to switch that with Yao, and it's an easy switch, but they let him make the cut. He got the easy basket.
Here's Steve Francis, who has improved in every statistical category in these playoffs from his regular season numbers. Yao Ming has only scored 4 points less than O'Neal in the series, and Cuttino Mobley, who's struggling from 3, buries one. He was 3 of 15 above the arc until that hit.
Good ball movement by Yao Ming. He saw the double team coming, got it out quickly before Kobe could rotate up, and they made the extra pass for the wide open jumper.
Los Angeles Lakers have won 17 of their last 21 games, amongst the hottest teams in the NBA right now. And the Rockets have lost 9 of their last 13. Here's Devin George with the second consecutive start. Rick Fox is off the bench now with 2 seconds on the shot clock. George fans. Good defense by Jimmy Jackson.
Great defense overall. They gave him no openings to attack the rim. They had to settle for a long jumper.
And Yao Ming. Nice pass inside to Jim Jackson. Cato setting a screen. Go down low to Kelvin Cato, and a Houston turnover. If there's been one problem with the Rockets this season, Mike Dunleavy, Jeff Van Gundy has been working a lot with trying to get this team not to turn the ball over as often.
Well, that was a careless one, too. That was just a miscommunication between 2 guys. I mean, that should have been an easy entry pass.
And Karl Malone with Gary Payton around Francis, and in for 2.
That's what Payton loves to do. He loves to get a smaller guard on him and post them up, be aggressive, taking the ball to the rim. And, you know, the more points in the paint the Lakers can score, the better off they're going to be, obviously.
Steve Francis in this series averaging 20 points a game, and 17 in Game 4. Francis to Yao, and a miss and a rebound by Gary Payton. Here come the Los Angeles Lakers, going 2 of 5 to start the game from the floor, and Payton inside, and 2 in a row as he penetrates.
You know, it's interesting. Yao Ming fouled out of last game. I don't see him being very aggressive going to penetration right now. Malone made a cut inside him. They didn't bump, and the last cut right there to the basket, he didn't go block that shot till late.
Rockets have started this game 2 of 3 from the field as Jackson works on Devin George, and Yao tries to set his screen, and Jimmy Jackson on the fly. I don't know where the Rockets would be without Jimmy Jackson.
That was a really tough shot. I mean, Jackson's been doing it on the boards for them, doing it, making the big shots. He's had a great year for them.
And Kobe Bryant to Karl Malone, uncovered where he found himself often in Game 4. And a rebound by the Rockets, who are leading this series in rebounding and are +2 in rebounding tonight.
You see, when Shaq is involved in the pick and roll, you got to make a decision. You got to rotate to him. You can't give him an open lane to the basket.
Cato looking inside and off the fingertips of Yao Ming. That's good defense. Second turnover.
It's good defense by the Lakers. They got a deflection right there, threw the pass off, and Cato couldn't react to it.
Rockets early in this game have led by as many as 3, and the Lakers have had a 1-point lead.
See right here, they got to switch that. When they go equals guard to guards, they can't let guys run free to the basket.
Bryant with the miss. Here's Payton, a wide open Karl Malone again. And Jeff Van Gundy told us before the game he needs his players to close much harder and faster on Karl Malone.
Well, particularly when he's in range. You know, right there, 16, 17 feet, that's great range for Karl Malone. If he's further out, you close out under control, you let him have those outside shots.
So Payton's got 4, and Karl Malone has 4 points. 5 points, a game high from Coutinho Mobley. And here's Steve Francis. And he takes it inside with the shot clock at 9. Bryant quickly on Mobley, who keeps his balance and works through traffic and finds Francis, who finds Yao Ming. Another turnover. That's the 3rd by the Rockets.
Hey, that was unselfish play by Francis. I think he had a shot, and he was just trying to set Yao up for the easy basket, but he just couldn't handle the pass.
Gary Payton's hit 2 in a row. A miss right there. Francis with the rebound, and here come the Rockets the other way. And off to Jackson, launching a 3. And Yao can't put it back in. And there's a Laker foul inside. Karl Malone will pick up his first.
I still think the Rockets cannot settle for the long jumpers. I think they've got to attack the basket when they have the opportunity. Right here, Jimmy shoots a long-range jumper. Yao gets on the inside to get the offensive rebound. Misses an easy tip, but he's pushed down low.
If the Rockets throw up those long-range jump shots, those quick jump shots, even more so than long-range, it gives the Lakers a chance to get in their rhythm, get that fast game of theirs going.
And you definitely don't want to see Kobe Bryant getting into the open court.
Yao hits the first free throw as we take a look like Yao Ming. First overall selection in the draft a couple years ago. 7'6". Always thought for so many years that Shaquille O'Neal was this mammoth, unequaled physical presence. And now here comes Yao Ming into the NBA. And O'Neal is small compared to Yao.
Well, he's small in height.
Yes. Gary Payton, who's been complaining about the minutes played, but is seeing a more prominent role as the series goes on. George saves it, but right back to the Houston Rockets. That is the first Laker turnover. Jackson and Mobley with Kobe defending. And 2 in a row above the arc by Coutinho Mobley.
Jimmy Jackson made a great read that last defensive play. Shaq went on the spin lob, and Jackson put a body on him where he couldn't get to the ball.
Mobley had a career high 164 3-point shots made this season. They go inside to Karl Malone. Yao Ming is there, and a foul called on Yao for the first time.
The last shot, Jimmy Jackson drags the defender to the left with him and leaves it for Mobley at the 3-point line. He jab stepped Kobe off to get the shot and drains the second one of the game.
Rockets have already hit a couple free throws, and these will be the first free throws for the Los Angeles Lakers. And a look at Karl Malone. After the 3 of 14 performance, Coach Mike Dunleavy, in Game 1, he has now shot over 50% from the field and averaging 22 points a game in the last 3 playoff games against the Houston Rockets.
Having said that, though, I don't think the Rockets can change their coverage on Shaq and Kobe. I think they still have to make Malone have to make shots as the other 2 players on the floor must make them. But I just think they have to be, as Jeff said, more confirmed as far as where they're rotating and how hard they're rotating to him. When he's in range, you've got to get to him in a hurry right now.
Kareem Rush is checked in for the first time, taking the place of Kobe Bryant. And 2 missed free throws by Malone. And here comes Karl again, surrounded by red uniforms, and Devin George putting up a 3 and a Kelvin Cato rebound.
Well, they dodged the bullet right there, because when you get 2 misses, you cannot let the opponent get the offensive board back.
Mobley has a game-high 8 with it right now. Rockets have gone 2 of 3 above the arc, and now varying his game with the mid-range 2-point shot.
You saw the last pick and roll right there. Yao came up to set it, but Shaq stayed in the paint. Malone came out to cover it. So they switched off on it. Every opportunity they can keep Shaq near the basket, they're going to try and do that.
So in this elimination game, the Houston Rockets are on top by 6. This is their biggest lead tonight. Rockets have only trailed by 1 point on a 7-0 run with the miss right there. And off the Lakers and Devin George.
Again, that possession there, Yao gets his first foul. He's now off of Shaq. He's on Malone. They move Cato over to guard Shaq, so he's not trying to keep him from not getting that second foul in the first quarter.
Rockets have not made a change in their lineup as of yet, and Gary Payton picks up a quick foul on Steve Francis. That's the first on Gary Payton, who has taken a very vocal role during this series on his play and his team against Steve Francis and the Rockets, who have an early 6-point lead on the Los Angeles Lakers. Tonight from Los Angeles, the 2004 NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. By Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. By TGI Fridays, try Fridays' new shrimp flavors. 3 all-new dishes overflowing with flavor. And by IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. It's been scoring on demand with Cuttino Mobley with a game-high 10 points so far and 2 threes and a mid-range jumper.
What I love to start right here is he tests Kobe off the dribble, gets him flat-footed and attacks the rim. Then good ball movement out of the double team in a low post, sets up a wide open 3. And here, after that first drive, Kobe backs off a little bit, sets up the standstill 3. And then the mid-range game off the dribble. He's got his confidence going right now and looking really good.
Rockets are pretty close to their season average from the field in this series, about 43.5%. But they're scoring 4 less points. The Lakers, in contrast, Mike Dunleavy, are averaging exactly 10 points less in the postseason as opposed to the regular season.
Well, you know, the big focal point for them is their bench, their guys, besides the big 4 for them, they got to get numbers on the board. They got to make outside shots on the double teams with Shaq in the post.
Rockets did not make a change out of that break, and here's a Yao Ming hook picked up by Kelvin Cato, and that is the great thing about these 2 big bodies up front is Cato converts. He gives the Rockets an 8-point lead.
Well, you know, right there, I mean, these are the kind of plays that Yao, I mean, Shaq's push him in the back, not to let him get a deep catch, but he's got to be able to finish those shots. I mean, those are the ones going to open things up for him. You know, Shaq's going to use his strength. Yao's got to use his height.
Kobe Bryant back in the game, joining Payton, Rush, Shaquille O'Neal, and Karl Malone. And here is Kelvin Cato at the free throw line. And these are his first free throw attempts of the game. Makes it right there, and a 10-0 run for the Houston Rockets. Let's go to Cheryl Miller.
And Kevin and Mike, this is exactly what Phil Jackson was worried about, was the team getting off to a slow start as we've witnessed so far. And Mike, my question to you, if you're Phil Jackson, how do you get your guys going?
Well, you got to push them. You know, they got to try and get some stops defensively, get in the open court, get some easy baskets, get deep catches for their guards in the paint.
Jackson with the miss, and Karl Malone gets the rebound for the Los Angeles Lakers, who are trailing in that category by 3 to Houston. Los Angeles has not hit from the field in over 3 minutes, and a miss right there by Karl Malone, who has started 2 of 5. And here come the Rockets, led by Jimmy Jackson.
Well, that's like I said earlier. I mean, I think Jeff has got to stay with his game plan with Karl Malone, forcing him to make shots. And, you know, so far it's paid off for them. Karl's had a couple of good open looks and hadn't been able to put him down with Yao Ming at 7-6 on him.
Rockets' big lead right now of 9. Lakers had a 1-point lead in a game that has contained 4 lead changes and 2 ties already. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. Called that off of.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Lakers. Yeah, we saw it on replay and looked a little bit shaky with Jackson inside. Yao Ming went on the handle, and here comes Malone down court to Kobe Bryant.
Well, Jimmy had the right idea. You know, he's trying to get that second foul on Kobe.
Kobe has started 0-3. And Steve Francis the other way in transition. And a Los Angeles foul inside. And Kareem Rush.
Well, the Rockets had numbers on that time down. And, you know, Francis pulls up for a wide open 15-footer, but it left the offensive boards open, and Rush had to take a foul to avoid an easy basket for the Rockets.
Rockets going with their initial 5. Big minutes have been played in this series, over 40 apiece for Malone and Shaq and Kobe, and a Francis miss and a Kobe Bryant rebound. He'll come the other way, 0-3 with a foul. And a good move by Kobe Bryant inside.
It's a nice finish by Bryant. There's some contact down low with Cato.
LA had missed their last 5 shots until that hit by Kobe Bryant. We're approaching 4 to play in the first quarter. Now the mismatch on O'Neal and inside to Yao. When Shaq went out for Francis, Yao was open inside.
That was a great pass by Steve Francis. You know, he never looked at Yao and made the pass over the top of the guard.
Rush off to Kobe Bryant, and here is Bryant working on Cuttino Mobley, and that's the hit that Bryant was looking for. Now 2 of 5. He had gotten inside, but that time it's from outside.
You know, and again, that shot was well defended. That's what makes him such a great player.
And Jackson finds Cuttino Mobley. And Rush defending him. Some help from Payton. And a whistle on the help defense. That goes on Gary Payton, and he picks up his second personal foul.
Brian, you see him he makes the attack to the rim, goes up for the hang time against Cato. Cato hits him down low, but he still has the presence to take the ball off the glass and get a nice finish.
So Cuttino Mobley, who's been battling a bad left shoulder, and is 7 of 8 in these playoffs at the free throw line, missing the first right there. For the season, he was an 81% free throw shooter, but getting him off as they have, the only player in double figures right now with 10, has been crucial for the Rockets in their early lead, and they're going to bring in Mo Taylor here. Maurice Taylor coming in for Yao Ming. You like this substitution at 3:19?
I do, because you've got a 7-point lead. You don't want to expose Yao to a second foul at this point in time in the first quarter. You can sit him down, rest him up, and then come back when Shaq goes out and try and attack whoever comes in the low post.
Well, sometimes, Mike, it's almost the first guy to 2 fouls is the guy you've really got to start watching. And you're right, Yao now sits out. He's in good situation, and Shaq has not been fouled yet in the game. So here he is with the ball, and he works inside on Kelvin Cato and finds 2.
See, when you're playing against Shaq, once he gets that deep, you almost have to just wrap him up. You got to get him below his waist with the ball. You can't let him get up there and finish it.
Cato picks up the foul.
Once Cato went up in the air, he knew he was dead. He needed to make sure he just takes the foul. Don't let Shaq have that finish around the rim.
Shaq in this series, you see 31%, 13 of 42. Free throws, Shaq is 24 for 81.
Yeah, you've got to always consider the hack of Shaq. You basically have 6 fouls per guy to save buckets when you're playing against him, particularly in the low post.
Cato set a screen for Jackson on that shot. Kobe Bryant retrieves it. We approach 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Here come the Los Angeles Lakers, shooting 41% from the field so far. And Karl Malone, 2 of 5. He now has 6 points, and the Los Angeles Lakers, down moments ago by 9, creep to within 4.
Well, you see that time right there, he immediately took Mo Taylor in the low post, knowing that now I've got a post game. Against Cato, against Yao Ming, it's going to be tough for me to post up unless I get a deep catch.
Karl Malone, on a 3 of 6 start, he has been the physical force in this series, riling up the Rockets and leading the Lakers to a 3-1 series advantage. Going into tonight's game, the Los Angeles Lakers weren't sure when Kobe Bryant would be returning from his pre-trial hearings in Eagle, Colorado. He had missed Laker practices on Monday and Tuesday, but flew back to California each night. It's the 3rd time this season that Kobe has tried to commute from Colorado to California to Staples Center. And they say it's 2.5 hours from court to court. He arrived, he missed his first 3, but he's hit his last 2.
Well, he's taking the last couple to the basket. A real tough finish there over Cato, and then makes a tough jumper over Cuttino Mobley. And he'll come out, he'll find his energy, he'll find his way through this game. You know the effort's going to be there for 48 minutes with him. And if you're the Rockets, you just got to keep him at bay. You just got to keep him having to make shots over defenders and not let him get in the open court and get easy scores.
Kobe Bryant in this series has gone 34% from the field, 3 of 15 from three-point territory, averaging 23 points and 5 rebounds. That is slightly under his regular season numbers, as Francis finds Jimmy Jackson. And he'll curl around, and whittle his way inside into a couple of defending Lakers and gives the Houston Rockets a 22-16 lead.
That was really a nice finish by Jackson. He got the ball up on the glass before the defense could come help. Right now, the Rockets are trying to attack with Mobley and Jackson in the low post.
Derek Fisher's come in for the first time. He's got the ball right now, coming off an 0-of-7 display, shooting in Houston over the weekend. Shaq in point-blank range, fighting for it. A Rocket foul inside. Taylor and Cato are in there defending. That's going to go on Mo Taylor.
Well, he saved the short basket right there. That offensive rebound, he was in the kill zone. So they needed to take that one.
The kills, I like that. Because inside like that, he is virtually unstoppable.
Oh, no, he's just way too strong for anybody on there.
Kobe Bryant, who's got 4 points, and into Karl Malone, who's got a Laker-high 6. Nice pass inside, just out of the reach of Derek Fisher.
The weak side put a nice bump on Fisher's. Slowed his cut down a little bit through the timing off on Malone. Otherwise, the pass would have been on the money.
So the turnovers now even at 3 apiece, and that was a key thing for the Lakers to try to push Houston into those kind of situations. And the Rockets, of course, want to stay 14 turnovers or less, shoot 45% or better, and score at least 90. When those things all happen, this team has been terrific this season. Here's Mobley, shot clock at 8.
Right now, you got the mismatch right there. That's where the Rockets have had problems all year long. These turnovers and decisions. Coutinho Mobley's got Karl Malone. He could take him off the dribble. If you get a switch with a big with a small, you're not going to throw a bounce pass into the low post. Keep the ball high where the big man can hold off the small.
Mobley picks up his first foul. And the one thing that's got to be weighing on the Lakers, up 3-1, is that they got San Antonio resting back in Texas. And although Phil Jackson, he says rest is important, but right now we just got to get beyond this series, you can't help but think that's a thought lingering in the back of their mind.
There's no question about that. Rest is good, but too much rest could be a problem too. So San Antonio, I think, would like to see this series go one more game, get the little extra rest, but not have it go to a 7 or 6.
Playoffs continue tomorrow night on TNT as the Pistons take on the Bucks. Kings will take on the Mavericks. Game 5 action coverage beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern time Friday night. ESPN. Heat hosting the Hornets, and Minnesota will play the Denver Nuggets. And what a big win with a big ticket. And the Timberwolves last night in Denver had the chance to close out in their upcoming playoff game. Rebounding in this game, +2 for the Rockets, who have led by as many as 9, and the Rockets have trailed by 1. Here's the defensive Fisher on Francis, and he zips by O'Neal, and he traveled. That's the 5th Rocket turnover in this game.
But right there, they had a timing issue on their play. Francis wasn't comfortable. Kobe did a nice job defensively on Mobley, not letting him get a catch on the wing, and it results in a turnover.
Points in the paint about the same. Fast break points about the same in this game. What a pass! Karl Malone to Kobe Bryant.
That was a great pass. I saw it. I thought he was going to throw it up top to Kobe because he had a free run to the rim, but he just threaded the needle.
Yao Ming remains on the bench. No fouls to give either way. Shaq has scored 2. Kobe has scored 6. Yao has scored 4. Mobley's 11 a game high. And here is Maurice Taylor, the ex-Los Angeles Clipper, who twirls and leads to Kelvin Cato off the baseline.
It's a great find by Taylor. He knew the shot blocker, Shaq, was coming to get him, and the weak side didn't have a chance to sink and fill to pick up the cutter.
And it's Bryant again with Fisher, met by the defense of Francis. That is a 2-point shot, and a big one it is for Derek Fisher.
It was a nice control shot. I mean, Francis did a good job of closing him out under control. Didn't give him the 3, but Derek went to the step-back move and nailed about a 20-footer.
There's a difference of about 3 seconds from the game clock to the shot clock as Fisher kicks it out. Mobley uncovered. Right down the middle is Coutinho Mobley. Has hit 3 3-point shots. He is 5 of 5 to begin this game and 14 points in the waning seconds. Karl Malone.
Well, I'm not sure about that one right there. They ran a trap at half court and left Karl wide open. They had the clock in their favor.
So Malone is in double figures with 10 points and 4 of 7. And Coutinho Mobley coming into tonight, we mentioned it before, a combined 3 of 15 in the first 4 games of the series above the arc. But tonight he's knocked in 3. He's 5 of 5. Rockets big lead of 9. And at the end of 1, it's Houston by 3 over the Los Angeles Lakers as you're watching the playoffs on TNT.
My money, yes or no? No.
Drama isn't how you make your money. It's how far you go to get it back.
You are crazy.
See Mel Gibson in Payback. Saturday night at 8. One of the Saturday night new classics on TNT.
We're back in Los Angeles with Clipper coach Mike Dunleavy and Cheryl Miller, Kevin Harlan. A look at Jeff Van Gundy in his first year with the Rockets, and when his team is led at the beginning of the second quarter, at the end of the first, 33-10 record, and when trailing the Lakers 19-16. And a lot of time these trends really kind of let you know what's going to happen the rest of the way. Like when they score over 90 points, Houston, when they shoot over 45%, that's a pretty good indication. And now they're in a pretty good place with Yao beginning the second quarter on the bench next to his mentor, Patrick Ewing.
Well, some teams are good front-running teams. You know, when they're playing from ahead, they're very relaxed. They make good plays. And other teams, usually the more veteran teams, are the ones that have the ability to come from behind.
Our get well wishes to our partner, Doug Collins, resting a hoarse voice tonight. He'll be with us tomorrow night in Sacramento. Medvedenko picks up the foul. I'll make it Bryant picks up his foul. That's a second on Kobe Bryant. Medvedenko in with Fisher, Karl Malone, Rush, and Kobe in there. Fisher will be on Francis. As we mentioned, Yao still on the Rocket bench to begin the second quarter.
Well, the attack point right now is going to be low post with Medvedenko. He just pulled the chair on Taylor and forced a turnover. Another careless turnover by Houston.
Lakers have hit 7 of their last 8 after starting 4-14. Now they've hit 8 of their last 9, and Kobe Bryant has put in 8 points.
That was a great cut by Bryant. The weak side should have switched. They're two small guys, and they just didn't communicate well enough.
Medvedenko on Mo Taylor. And he takes it inside and finds 2. And the Rockets lead by 3.
Did a nice job of creating space for the fadeaway jumper.
Taylor, Cato, Mobley, Jimmy Jackson along with Steve Francis, the Houston 5, and here comes Kareem Rush, whose shooting has been something to watch in this series, 50% so far.
Yeah, Rush is the one guy coming off the bench that's been a consistent shooter all year long with range for the Lakers, and he's made some big buckets for them. You know, right now, I mean, the Rockets have to get Yao Ming back in the game. If Shaq comes out, that's the matchup.
And Yao is set to come back in at the next dead ball as Jackson fades away. Rebound is collected by Kobe Bryant, who's got 3 rebounds and 8 points. Lakers lead this series 3-1. And a turnover for Los Angeles. They've got 4 ahead. It goes for Francis, who throws it back in just to save it. And that's the 6th Houston turnover of the game as Bryant takes it the other way.
And again, the thing about them is it's not like they're forced turnovers. They're careless plays.
Medvedenko inside and shoved from behind. Coutinho Mobley was defending. Rockets have led by 9, Lakers by a point. The game that's had 4 lead changes and a couple ties. Yao Ming comes back in. Kelvin Cater will take a breather. Francis will check out as well. 2 fouls now on Coutinho Mobley, who has a game-high 14. Medvedenko at the stripe. Medvedenko has been battling some injuries as well. He's got a strained right Achilles tendon. He hasn't practiced the last couple days. And as I mentioned, Mark Jackson comes in for Francis for Houston.
You see, Phil's not going to let Jeff put Yao on the floor without Shaq being there. And you had a 2-minute stretch while Shaq was on the bench when they changed quarters that Yao wasn't on the floor, and that's the rest that basically Shaq got on the night.
Rockets and Lakers split their 4 games this season in the regular year. Lakers from the free throw line, 3 of 7. Rockets 4 of 5. 39-year-old Mark Jackson. We've got 2 of the older players in this game. Jackson at 39, Karl Malone at 40. Another Rocket turnover. They now have 8, and the other way it goes to Kobe Bryant.
The Rockets should have taken a foul in the open court to have him take the ball on the sideline. They were at a disadvantage coming down the floor and had a couple of opportunities.
And the Los Angeles Lakers have their biggest lead tonight. And Kobe Bryant leading the way with Laker 10 points. And Los Angeles a 7-2 start to the second quarter.
Well, Fisher at the end of it makes the play to Bryant, and you know he's going to go in and finish it with a bang. In the open court, and these are the kind of plays you do not want to let happen because it gets the crowd involved in this game. Jeff's forced to take a timeout and try and calm it down.
Rockets led by 3 points at the end of the first quarter. The numbers on Kobe Bryant, who was off to Colorado in a pre-dawn charter jet flight and left Colorado about 4:07 Pacific time. Arrived in the arena at about half hour or so before the tip-off, and here he is with a dynamite start in an elimination game with the Lakers up 3-1.
But somewhere along the way right now, I mean, Yao's got to establish a game, whether it be a pick-and-roll game, a post game. He's got to find a way to get involved offensively.
And Maurice Taylor with the rebound from Kobe Bryant. And he now has 4 rebounds for Los Angeles. Lakers have hit 10 of their last 12 shots from the floor. Medvedenko uncovered. It's kind of the position that Karl Malone's been finding himself into on the wing and uncovered.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to do it. Medvedenko early in the year was banging down those shots, you know, on a nightly basis. He struggled late in the season. If he ever finds the range, though, it'd be a real plus for the Lakers.
Yao just picks up his second personal foul, and Shaq has not drawn a foul yet. So we'll keep track of that as Rush finds Medvedenko and Kareem Rush out of Missouri. Rebound by Yao Ming, who's got 4 points, and that's his first rebound tonight.
Now the problem is, you know, Yao's going to shift over to Medvedenko, but that means Maurice Taylor's got to guard Shaq, and that's no matchup.
Rockets shooting 52% and a 3 by Jimmy Jackson, so they got to shoot for a high percentage, which they've done, and they're hitting the threes. The Rockets 4 of 6.
Well, they've got the ability. They've got guys who have that range between Francis, Mobley, and Jackson. Right now, they've got to establish something on the basket, though.
Lakers have not hit a 3. Oh, what a play!
Great pass by Kobe. Shaq gave the sign, throw it up top, and he found him, put it right on the numbers.
Lakers by 1. And a guy with all kinds of playoff experience, Mark Jackson, getting a screen from Yao. The switch with Shaq on the defensive side for the Lakers. And Taylor back into Yao, which they've got to do, and that's the result.
Well, that time he was able to get a deep catch. He made the extra pass to the outside, and instead of shooting a long jumper, Maurice Taylor found him underneath the basket.
So Rockets at 56% now, 52% for the Lakers, and a steal. Jackson to Jackson, Clark to Jimmy, and Mobley back in the game, trying to tap it in. And there's that Bulldog, Derek Fisher getting it out. Medvedenko, here's Shaq, picked up by Taylor. And they've got Yao on Medvedenko, and Mobley watching Bryant.
Well, great flash by Kobe into the paint, and a great find. Totally under control, little 4-footer in the paint.
Kobe Bryant has a Laker high 12 points with 6 coming in this second quarter. Mark Jackson has got more playoff experience than the rest of the Rocket team combined.
You know, it's amazing. Shaq has not gotten out of the paint one time here. I mean, there has not been 1 3-second or 1 illegal defense called in this whole series. It's pretty amazing when you got the Houston Rockets with 2 7-footers who like to patrol the paint, and you got Shaq in there zoning up the whole time also.
And Mobley gets it. 6 Laker turnovers, 9 Rocket turnovers so far, just crossing the 7-minute mark of the second quarter with Coutinho Mobley in a game-high 14 points. Cross-court, Mark Jackson, and kicks it to Jimmy Jackson.
The Fisher flop didn't go.
Taylor and Maurice Taylor nails it.
These must be veteran referees. Seen that one before.
Kareem Rush. And off to Derek Fisher. No Rick Fox as of yet. He started the first 3 games of this series. Kobe Bryant into Yao Ming. Rebound, Kobe takes it out and goes up, and Yao gets the loose ball. And
tell you what, there's a tremendous amount of contact on that play, but the league rules, the way they're calling it this year, is even if Yao's in a restricted area, if he goes straight up in the air, he's got the right to try and block a shot. Even though there was a ton of contact on the play, he kept his arms back and there was no call.
Now this is a physicality Houston thought they needed to show tonight against Los Angeles.
Absolutely. Great pass there by Kobe Bryant. I mean, you see Shaq point up top, give it to me, big fella, right here. And he just threw it down with great force.
back in Los Angeles for our Bud Light Around the NBA headlines. Doc Rivers fired by the Magic last November after a 1-10 start to the just completed regular season. Has an agreement in place but not signed to coach the Boston Celtics for next year. What about the big ticket? Kevin Garnett, 27-14, a 2-point Minnesota win, a 3-1 lead in that series. Baron Davis may be hurting, but his team is healthy. They draw even with Miami, a 96-85 win over the Heat. Those are Bud Light Around the NBA headlines, as Steve Francis has played 14 minutes, has not scored. Coutinho Mobley's 14, leading all scorers, and Kobe has started 6 of 11, 12 points in 17 minutes. Kevin Harlan with Mike Dunleavy. And as you step back from this game a little bit, with about 6 minutes remaining in the first half, things you've noticed, trends you've watched in the first quarter and a half.
Well, the big thing is the turnovers for Houston. I think, Francis not scoring is a big an issue because he was doing a nice job of setting people up, but a couple of turnovers that have been careless. The difference in the game between the Rockets having a lead and playing from behind.
Taylor just gets his 6th point in this second quarter. Here's Karl Malone back in the game. He's had open jump shots again tonight. He's got 10 points, and he feeds Kobe. Back open again. Slow with the defense was Maurice Taylor. This is a persistent problem for the Houston Rockets.
Well, right now, because it's tough for you to leave. If you're on Shaq, to rotate over to the weak side to Malone, you're not sure you want to leave Shaq ever.
Exactly.
So it buys time and it gets wide open shots for those power forwards on the roll.
Mark Jackson picks up the foul. How about the efficiency tonight of the Los Angeles Lakers? You see it right here. 15 assists on 17 made field goals.
They've done a nice job of scoring on the cuts and finding guys on dribble penetration.
Timeout taken after the call on Mark Jackson of the Rockets. The Los Angeles Lakers lead this best-of-7 series 3-1. Watching the playoffs on TNT. Tonight from Los Angeles, the 2004 NBA playoffs on TNT are being brought to you by the U.S. Marine Corps. The change is forever. And by Miller. Vote Miller for president of beers. Good call. Good call is always going to Karl Malone, coming off a 30-point performance in Game 4 in these playoffs, averaging about 5 points more than he did in the regular season. A lot more attempts. I guess that explains the top number, and then he's rebounding better as well.
Well, I think, during the regular season when he was healthy early in the year, they were playing great. When he went out with injury, he came back very slowly from that, but he's found his rhythm late in the season right here in the playoffs, and this is what they need for a title run. They've got to have this kind of consistent play out of Karl Malone.
There's a clear path foul on Mark Jackson, so here is Gary Payton at the free throw line for the Los Angeles Lakers, and the free throw shooting tonight for LA. 4 of 8. Rockets are 4 of 5. Fast break points, 6-2 Lakers. Second chance points, 5-3 Rockets. Points in the paint, Lakers +4. Moshin Nakbar is in the game for the first time for the Houston Rockets. He and Malone really had an interesting jousting match going on in Houston over the weekend. Here's Kareem Rush from Kobe. And back to Gary Payton, who spins off a scoreless Steve Francis. Yao is out on Karl Malone, and he deflects the shot. And here comes Steve Francis and the Rockets the other way in a tie ball game at 38.
Did a great job on that closeout to Malone. Malone was out of his range, and he didn't bite by running out, even though Malone's made the last couple of shots he's taken.
Shaq and Yao. Yao's got 6, Shaq has 4, and losing his shoe, Francis went up.
Shaq knocked him out of his shoe.
Yes, he did. He's done that to a lot of guys. And a foul called on Shaq for the first time. So Yao's got 2 fouls, and Shaq picks up his first at the 5:05 mark of the second quarter.
Well, it was a nice pass by Yao. Once he saw the defense coming to him, the big fella went in there and just he has that effect on people.
He does. When you were coaching up in Portland, when you're coaching right now the Los Angeles Clippers, how do you game plan against him?
Well, when I was in Portland, we put him on the free throw line 39 times in a game. So
that's a good way.
That was one way of answering it. But you basically have to put 2 guys, 3 guys on at all times, and you've got to put them on the free throw line. You cannot let him have the easy scores. He's he's just such a force in the paint, and if you let him have an opportunity to finish, he will.
Francis scoreless at the free throw line right now. And there's his first from the line in this series, 67%. And there was a lot of talk coming into this series about Steve Francis, and would this be his final exam, is his playoff debut? How would he survive? In the first 4 games, he's been terrific. Tonight, only 2 points, the second one going through.
Yeah, but I like the way he's playing. I mean, he's trying to make plays. He's trying to do what Jeff wants him to do as far as running an offense. And people question whether he could do that.
Kobe Bryant diving inside.
Well, you're right. He just sliced and diced them right there. He found his way from the 3-point line, from the left side of the floor all the way to the right and to the rim.
Kobe had 6 points in the first quarter. He's got 8 points here in the second, a total of 14. That ties game-high honors with Cuttino Mobley, who had a lot of his in that first quarter. Francis off balance, and down it goes with an acrobatic shot.
He did such a great job of measuring Shaq, reading how far Shaq could come and where he could get a shot and where he couldn't get it from, and did a nice job of finishing.
Nakbar picks up the foul out there with Francis, Yao, Taylor, and Mobley. That's the first on Boston Nakbar.
So you see him attack the rim right here, decides I'm going to go east and west. I'm not going to go north and south. The big fella just knocked me out of my shoe last time.
Rush out there for the Lakers with Kobe, Peyton, Shaq, and Karl Malone. Here comes Kobe Bryant in a torture chamber and scoops it home.
See, Mobley, you can't let him beat your baseline in that. You had the big fella, Yao coming down at 7'6". He wasn't going to be able to shoot the fadeaway shot on him.
Rockets have led by 9. Lakers have led by as many as 2. Houston shooting 57% from the field. Now Ming against Shaq. Karl Malone with another rebound. He's now collected 5, although he ate that one right off the rim. As Gary Payton comes the other way.
Shaq hadn't been out of the paint in the last 8 seconds.
That gave him plenty of time to size things up, but he misses the shot. We're tied at 42.
He really should have got the ball earlier, but he was in there forever.
Here comes Francis, a Yao Ming screen, and Francis fans on the 3. Rockets are 4 of 7 shooting the threes, and the Lakers have yet to knock in a 3 tonight, 0 of 4.
You see, Shaq runs the floor right here, slows it up. He's in 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006.
You've had practice doing that, haven't you?
I do that on the sidelines a great deal.
You were telling me that story before the game tonight.
No, but he did a nice job there of getting down the floor, sealing Yao. And it wasn't his fault he was in there that long. Should have got the ball earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Karl Malone, and from the free throw line in this series, he is 70%. Tonight, 2 of 4. Flanks that one off. Lakers 4 of 9. Hey fans, a reminder to get an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune in to the NBA TV playoff show, Destination Finals. It's every weeknight at 6 o'clock only on NBA TV. Yao Ming goes out. Nakbar is out of the game. So Cato is back in. Taylor, Jimmy Jackson, Mobley, and Francis. That is the Rocket 5. Rebounding in this game, even at 15 apiece. As Karl Malone, who's got 12. Now 13, right in back of Kobe's 16 points. What great influence Patrick Ewing has had on Yao Ming's game in his second NBA season.
Well, yeah, last time down, you saw him go to that left-hand move in the paint. Once he gets that within the next couple of years, he'll truly be a monster.
Here's Mobley. Yao's on the bench with a couple fouls. Shaq has 1, and Taylor left open. Malone slow to get there. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal. He has his second rebound tonight. And Peyton in the open floor, which he enjoys, in a 3 by Rush. And a long rebound picked up by Jimmy Jackson. Now they've got numbers the other way, and the slow-paced Jackson finds Taylor with the mismatch on Shaq. He's got him on the floor, and here he goes, diving inside and looking for Cato. Another Rocket turnover. They've got 11 for the game. It's Peyton to Karl Malone, and a foul, and a hard one at that, which is exactly what Jeff Van Gundy wanted to see out of his team tonight. To a guy that they felt had been instigating this physicality in this series, the rugged and Hall of Famer to be Karl Malone.
Malone does such a great job as he has his whole career running the floor, filling the lanes, and now attacking right here. It was a good play by Mobley on the ball, and the second hit by Cato coming in. I think the first one just threw him a little bit off balance. Carl's saying that was nothing. That was like one of them little flies. He's getting ready to knock it off his shoulder.
Malone was 8 of 11 from the free throw line in game 4 with this 30-point, 13-rebound performance. Now, we told this in the pregame show with Ernie Johnson that torn shirt was part of many tussles he had with various Rockets, namely Nakbar in Game 4, and people thought, would he give that to the Hall of Fame? Would he put it in the safety deposit box? He said, nope. I brought it home and gave it to my 8-year-old son, Carl Jr. He loved it.
Well, if you have if you have any sons, you know that's not happening. They've got to come home.
Well, the thing was, in that game, he became the oldest player in playoff history to hit 30 points or more, so there was a very historic value to the jersey and to his game. But he fans right there. Mobley picks up his 3rd foul. He is the only Rocket with 3. We said Yao's got 2. No one has 3 fouls for the Lakers. Shaq has 1, but 4 points in the game. Yao Ming, Steve Francis, and the switch on defense, and O'Neal is up top, and they still throw it away with another turnover, number 12.
Yao has got to become more aggressive. He's making passes, trying to find guys who's unselfish, but Jeff Van Gundy needs him to score. He should have taken that ball right to the rim. He's got a smaller guy on him and finished it.
Malone open again, and a rebound by Kelvin Cato. Rockets led by 3 at the end of 1. And they trail by a point now as we approach 2 to play in this first half. Yao Ming, who's gone 2 of 5. Another turnover, and Yao's got a ton of them. Kobe Bryant can rush the other way in a 2-on-1, and a foul call.
Again, the double team's coming to Yao once he puts the ball on the floor, but he's got to be strong. He's got to time the double teams when they're coming to him and get a better opportunity to finish it.
Akbar picks up his 2nd foul for the Houston Rockets. We're in Los Angeles where the drama never ends. Timeout.
It is time for a Southwest Airlines game break. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta's Studio A. Coming up at halftime, Charles and Kenny will be here to break down the first half of this Game 5 between the Rockets and the Lakers. And we'll look ahead to Game 5 in the Sacramento-Dallas series, see if the Mavs have moved past that day of mourning after dropping Game 4. Nelly's words, not mine, on the day of mourning. Kev?
Sure, EJ. Thank you very much. Wolves on top have a chance to close that out on ESPN. On Friday, we'll be up in Sacramento tomorrow night with the Kings trying to close out the Dallas Mavericks, an elimination game there. Spurs have already won. Lakers know that, and so they're trying to close out Houston. But Houston has been shooting great, about 52%, one of the things they had to do, but the turnovers are absolutely killing them.
You talked about Jeff Van Gundy not wanting to commit 14 turnovers, but we must have meant in the first half because they got 13 already tonight. And it's been murder because, you know, the opportunities they've had. I mean, Yao Ming on the inside the last couple of possessions down. He's got to stay more aggressive. He can't take more than 2 dribbles. He can't get his rhythm off that. He's got to be in attack mode.
Lakers have attempted 8 more shots from the field tonight than the Houston Rockets have. As you take a look at Kobe Bryant, 17 points in 21 minutes. Numbers and rebounds and assists. And hoisting one up again. He's got 12 in this quarter, 18 for the game. And Kobe, a perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line. In the final 2 minutes of the first half, Peyton is on Francis. Kobe is watching Akbar. Rick Fox in for the first time for the Los Angeles Lakers, and a foul called on the newly instated Rick Fox, who has lost his starting role, I guess, in this triangle offense. You got to have a score, and Devin George has proven to be just that. Fox is struggling with his shot.
Well, all year long, he's had some injuries. He just hasn't been right, you know, and really, you know, Devin George had a great start to the season, shot the ball really well, so they're looking for that same thing in the playoffs.
Steve Francis with an acrobatic move inside, and Peyton was in his way, and Gary Payton picks up the foul. Rockets have led by 9. Lakers have led by as many as 2. Peyton picks up his 3rd personal foul of the game. We've had 11 lead changes and 6 ties so far.
Well, Francis got to the rim again, which has been, you know, pretty consistent in this series. Peyton was on him late. He defended him very well, but Francis did a good job of hanging in the air, just drawing the foul in the very last second.
Then he hits it again, and Gary Payton will take a seat on the bench, a guy who has been miffed, and that face will tell you all you need to know about his minutes, especially late in games. In the 4th quarter, he has not been seen much on the floor for Los Angeles.
Well, you know, again, right here, it's kind of, you know, it's difficult to get your rhythm. You know, if you're getting in foul trouble, you're coming in, you're coming out. You know, all players, you want to have a consistent time where you can get that rhythm, but the coach has the responsibility of trying to win games, and you know, Phil's making that decision.
Yao is out on Malone. That means Cato is on Shaq inside. There's a 3-second violation it was for the first time in this series.
I was getting ready to comment. He's been in there a long time again.
Where's Jeff? We got to look at Jeff because he was talking about that before the game. Jeff Van Gundy. But that is the very first 3-second violation of this series with the guy who's 7'6" and a guy who's 7'1".
The league must have phoned it in. They heard us on the telecast.
Here comes Francis. And Yao Ming by Malone into Shaq and finds 2 and a foul. And one of the more aggressive plays we have seen from Yao Ming with 8 points, 4 rebounds in 17 minutes, and Shaq picks up his second foul.
And that's exactly what you need to do again right here. He fakes the pass off. He's going to take it to his body. He's going to try and finish. And he needs to be that consistent. You know, try and be physical, try and get to the rim, try and score. That's what the Rockets need from him.
So Yao has 2 fouls and Shaq has 2 fouls. And Houston has a 1-point lead. They've been up by 9. Here comes Kobe Bryant with the game-high 18. Mobley leads the Rockets with 14. Jimmy Jackson picks up his first foul for Houston right there.
You know, they got to have a better communication on the pick and rolls. You know, basically Cato's coming up there with Shaq, and Jimmy let Kobe beat him baseline. If you're playing pick and roll basketball and you force in the middle, you cannot let that guy beat you back because your defense is geared for that help.
Well, we know that the Lakers had to defend the Rockets in 3-point shooting, and so far Houston has succeeded there 4 of 7. What on the defensive side for Los Angeles have they worked on their screen and roll defense against the Houston offense?
Well, they've done a good job. I mean, you know, Shaq is jumping out there, leaving it up to the weak side to pick up his man on the roll. But what happens is they haven't had the outside shot fall for Yao Ming or for Maurice Taylor, and that's why you know, the Lakers have been able to get away with playing it the way they have been.
Quick note on Shaq and Yao. They have now each scored the same amount of points in this series as Francis puts one over Fisher and hits it for 2. Francis complaining for a foul. And all 8 points in Steve Francis's pocket tonight scored here in the second quarter as Fox, with under a minute to play, finds a wide open Karl Malone. Yao hesitating, coming out, rebound by Nakbar.
He did a good job. You know, again, he's under control at 7'6". It makes it a tough shot.
Jackson bobbling the ball. That slows it up. Fisher, though, closing pretty quick on defense.
Jackson had a matchup that he wanted in a low post. They didn't give him the ball.
2 to make 1. Here comes Francis. Mismatch now with Malone on him.
Yao needs to dive. Go to the rim. You got a guy 6'7" on you.
And instead, he watches the shot miss. Rebound by Cato. And now with no shot clock and the game clock winding down, Rockets will try for one last shot, leading by a point.
Well, Nakbar had a wide open shot, but he made the right decision to hold for 1.
Good point. Francis, who has caught fire in the second quarter, and Jackson for 2. Rebound by Shaq as he rips it away from Yao, and we've come to halftime here in Los Angeles in a very entertaining first half.
No, it was a well-played first half. Other than the Rockets' turnovers for them, I thought the Lakers did a nice job of moving the basketball, mixing their game up, Kobe getting to the rim.
So the Rockets are doing what they had to do. They're shooting over 45%. They're hitting their 3-point shots, but they are turning it over. 13 miscues for the Rockets. Lakers are shooting 47%. And the Los Angeles Lakers trail at halftime by 1. Kobe Bryant's got a game-high 20. Coutinho Mobley's got 14 for the Rockets. Kobe, by the way, had 14 points in that second quarter. Let's go to Cheryl Miller.
Coutinho, even though you did get into foul trouble, you were wincing over there just a few minutes ago. Is your elbow bothering you?
Yeah, that's all right. I messed it up in the last game in overtime. I went to the cup and they didn't call a foul, and it hit my elbow at that time, so it was a little sore, but I'm all right.
Patrick Ewing, your assistant coach, said that you guys' game plan has been solid in the first 4 games. The only difference is that the execution down the stretch of the games. Do you focus on that in the second half?
Definitely. Kobe got so many layups. You know what I mean? They've been setting a lot of screens for him, a lot different from the other 4 games. You know, catching me off guard. So, you know, I got buckled down and get some tagging from my teammates and see if we can, you know, clear a lot of them layups up that they haven't. Turnovers is a big thing.
Absolutely. How do you eliminate that in the second half?
I think we're just trying too hard. You know what I mean? Trying not to lose instead of just to win. You know what I mean? Just play to win. You know, we know we can beat them. They know they can beat us. So, I mean, it's all even. You just go out there and play hard and see what you can do.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Let's send it back to you, Kevin.
All right, Cheryl. Coutinho Mobley is from Philadelphia, played at Rhode Island. Here is a guy who is in that Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki, and Antoine Jamison draft. He was a second-round pick by the Rockets, but is invaluable for Houston. especially tonight when they built up a 9-point lead. Ernie Johnson, he had 14 in the first quarter, and we're at halftime, and the Rockets lead the Los Angeles Lakers in this elimination game 48-47 as we swing it to you in our TNT Sports studios.
For the Verizon Wireless halftime report, thank you very much, Kevin. Houston trying to send this series back to the Toyota Center for a 6th game. They lead at 48-47. And in case you haven't heard, Kobe Bryant got to the arena 26 minutes before the tip, and he has played 23 minutes in the game, more than anybody else, and leads everybody in scoring with 20. But the Lakers down by a point, 48-47. That's Charles. That's the Jet. You got pictures.
Yeah, well, one of the things I've noticed that Kobe, everyone talks about he possibly leaving and things of that nature next year. We're talking already next year. But he's probably the best one-on-one player in basketball who gets to play one-on-one. Most guys who are great one-on-one players get double-teamed every single time. See here, he's just got Yao Ming by himself. The picker never comes over. Here he's one-on-one in the post. Yao Ming comes real late. That's basically just to kind of show that he doesn't get double-teamed. For a great player, if you think of Jordan, think of guys like today who are great one-on-one players, Tracy McGrady, you think of Allen Iverson, they get doubled every time they touch the ball. Because he has the luxury of playing with Shaq, he doesn't get doubled. He gets to play one-on-one and freelance and have a lot of fun. That's a big advantage for Kobe Bryant.
8 out of 13 in the first half for his 20 points. Your thoughts on the first half?
You know, everybody, go crazy when Karl Malone has a good game and talk about Kobe Bryant all the time. The Lakers only win because of Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody who knows anything about basketball understands that. Kobe's got his 20, Karl's got his 13. They're still down because when they don't get Shaquille O'Neal involved, number one, those other role players can't get involved. Devin Joyce can't get involved. Derek Fisher can't get involved. And number one, they don't get big guys in foul trouble. And that's, for some reason, the Lakers, it's just like they don't want to admit. They get infatuated with Kobe. They get infatuated sometimes with Karl. But the Lakers only going to go as far as Shaquille carries them.
Shaq, only 5 shots in the first half, 2 out of 5.
Hold on.
I didn't see this. I never saw this coming.
Oh, my gosh, man.
I never saw
Ernie,
this coming.
man. Woo, we just a little bright today.
You know what?
It's summertime,
I wanted to see what it's like to be Craig Sager for a day.
Whoa. Hey, you need to warn us. We at the bar, notice these shades don't fit my big head.
That's a good look for you, too.
We at the parties today, Ernie. We know what's going on.
Yeah, a little David Corbett action here, my man.
I'm just waiting for you to, what avenue you standing on?
Is that bespoke?
Yeah, it is bespoke.
There you go.
There you go.
You look nice, Ernie.
Thank you very much, Charles. And I was just waiting for this to come. I know it's a little different. It's a little outlandish. But you should see my SUV.
So, Mr. Bond. Goldie. That's your new name, Goldie. 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 What's Penny? I ain't in this one.
Oh, man.
I was part of the joke. I was helping make it up. I'm not in this one.
I'm telling you, if our
Whoa, there you go. Where my chicks at? Don't let me lay my goon hand on y'all. Let me lay my goon hand.
Because our director keeps shooting a bald spot. I wish I had the hat on. We'll be back.
We'll get you on the Dave Chappelle show next.
Report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now? Good.
I barely slept a couple hours, and it's I still feel the same way. If I would have made a couple shots here and there, it probably would have been enough. And I just thought offensively it was one of my worst games.
Those comments by Dirk Nowitzki coming yesterday, the day that Don Nelson says was a day of mourning after Dallas lost and fell 3-1 down in that series. What do you do to regroup when you go to Sacramento? I mean, do you have a feeling, judging from what has happened in the previous games, that you can take this back to Dallas, Jet?
I think Sacramento just does a better job at playing the same style. They both are very similar, offensive-minded, up-tempo, transition baskets. But I think Sacramento just has better players at that. And they have more experienced players. When Charles alluded to in the last week, he's been saying how they're always talking about the rookies and Marquise Daniels and Josh Howard for Dallas. But when you come off the bench, you're talking about Peeler. You're talking about guys who who've been through playoff wars. You always name experienced players with Sacramento. When you talk about Dallas, you name inexperienced guys who can do the same job.
Charles?
Well, I think Sacramento, they just have a better team. They have more depth. You know, Dallas just a soft team. You know, when you know, obviously I love Michael Finley, but the two guys on the, like you say, they're talking about rookies. They got the equivalent of probably 6 All-Stars on Dallas roster, but when it comes to doing the dirty hard work, everybody mentions the 2 rookies. If your best players aren't your hard-nosed, tough players, you're not going to win. Like, you know, we talked earlier about the beast. You know, what happened when we were up 3-1 on the Rockets, he said we had a beast. Dallas does not have a beast, and the Rockets do not have a beast. And they're going home, both of them.
Yeah, Dallas has
they can play one-on-one in Texas next week.
In Sacramento tomorrow night. Also, game 1 of our doubleheader, Detroit trying to put away Milwaukee in game 5. That's what Milwaukee they'll be trying to do.
Nope.
No Chihuahua.
Meantime, among those on hand at Staples Center tonight, Lance Armstrong, the Tour de France champion.
What about Sheryl Crow?
And Sheryl Crow.
That guy just ride a bike. Sheryl Crow hot.
That's so wrong.
He rides a bike.
He's one of the greatest athletes of all time.
He's riding a bike, Ernie.
Back on the Verizon Wireless halftime report, Steve Francis and the Houston Rockets on top 47 or 48 to 47 the third quarter. You know,
do you have my money? I tell you right now, I'm gonna put my goon hand down on y'all. Y'all don't pay me my paper.
There's never just a shot of Steve Francis and going to break.
Give me a pop. Give me my paper. Give me my paper.
Shut up, Jet.
Where's my paper at?
The halftime report has been brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Welcome back to the capacity-filled Staples Center here in downtown Los Angeles with the Houston Rockets in this elimination game, leading the Lakers 48-47. With Clipper coach Mike Dunleavy, Kevin Harlan, our good friend Doug Collins, a little bit under the weather. Just talked to Doug. He's watching and enjoying. We'll see him tomorrow night.
I'm always subbing for him.
That's right.
76ers, TNT.
Well, you do a good job at it. Let's talk about the Rockets. Up by 1, they've led by 9. Turnovers continue to be this team's unraveling in that first half.
You know, it's not only turnovers, the way they're committing their turnovers. I mean, they're very careless, the miscommunications, and, you know, they could easily be up double figures in this game right now.
Kobe Bryant, sensational in that second quarter after coming back from a very active day with his pre-trial hearings in Eagle, Colorado.
Well, the first thing is that's the adjustment that the Rockets going to have to make. They're going to have to give more help to Bryant. He's able to get from the three-point line to the rim, that side right there. And then a duck under on Coutinho Mobley in the post with Yao Ming coming to double team. You know, you can't let that happen either.
And here are the Home Depot game statistics in this Western Conference first round for the Rockets. They're doing everything, but the turnovers are killing them. We'll keep track of these things in the second half. And speaking of Home Depot, driving the Home Depot car in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series is Tony Stewart, and with the divine Miss M, go right ahead.
Yes,
Cheryl,
and Kevin, that was such a smooth segue. Home Depot, nice tie-in and everything else.
Yes, thank you.
And Tony, first and foremost, you got to explain last weekend's race in Talladega. I swear you were in the middle of almost every crash. Explain that for me, okay?
It's just one of those real bad weekends. Now we, we start off the day with an incident with Kurt Busch, and I just got us in a compromising position, and called Kurt the next day. He wasn't mad about it. I talked to Jimmy Johnson, who turned me later in the race. He wasn't mad. I wasn't mad about it. That's just a product of restrictor plate racing. None of us like it, but that's the great thing about this week. We get to get away from restrictor plates, get to the 2-mile track in Santa California out here on the West Coast, and try to get the Home Depot Chevrolet.
Talk a little bit about Fontana. What are you anticipating in that race?
I'm excited about it. Our 1.5 and 2-mile program has been pretty good with our Home Depot team. Greg Zeppedelli, who's our crew chief, he's really worked hard, especially last year. We came out to California. I think we led almost 90 of the first 100 laps here. So we led almost the first half of the race and then had an engine explode on us. So hopefully this year we can go out there and lead laps and finish this thing and get our win that we should have got last year.
Now, you know, Kevin, that Tony up here has already said that the Lakers are going to lose Game 5 by 10. Just kidding, I'm just messing with you a little bit. But
way to go, Cheryl.
You know, just trying to stir up the pot a little bit.
Right.
But Tony, your thoughts? You don't get out to a lot of NBA games. Your thought of the first half so far?
This is awesome. I mean, we've been sitting in the 6th row here, center court, and you know, it's kind of fun to watch the players and see how the momentum of a game starts. It just kind of takes a while for everybody to get in their rhythm and get in their groove, and then seems like about 7 or 8 minutes into the game, everybody kind of settled in and found their spot, and the momentum started picking up.
All right, Tony, enjoy the rest of the game. Kevin and Mike, take it away.
Cheryl, thank you very much. Yao Ming with the miss right there as we begin the second half. Lakers with Shaq, Malone, Bryant, and Devin George along with Gary Payton. Rockets out there with Jimmy Jackson, Cato, Francis, Yao, and Coutinho Mobley. Shaquille with the miss, rebound by Cato. Mobley playing with 3 fouls. He's got to be the primary defender on Kobe. That's a developing story.
Yeah, that's a tough ticket right there. This time a good catch down deep by Yao. He goes to the left hand to get away from Shaq. Just he's been struggling finishing all night long. Shaq for the most part has done a great job defensively, just keeping him away from the basket.
The Rocket loss means they are gone. Devin George for 3.
That's a big shot because, you know, the Lakers need somebody else to step up besides, you know, Malone and Bryant right now. They're not getting the ball into Shaq. He's not getting deep catches. They're going to pay more attention to Bryant. They've got to find some way to get other shots.
And there's a 3-point shot by Mobley, who began the game hitting 3 of 3 from above the arc. Here come the Lakers. They have missed the last 6 shots. They haven't scored in about 5 minutes in this game, going back to the first half, and Gary Payton wheeling around Kelvin Cato, and Karl Malone open again, looking for Shaq, and ricochets around Yao, vacuums it in.
That time the Lakers just didn't do a good job. They had good ball movement, they had good opportunity.
Lakers have 8 turnovers, and there's a quick foul, and Gary Payton picks up another. A frustrated Gary Payton in this first round series. That is the 4th on him. You have brought a Portland team into Los Angeles, down 3-1. How did you prepare your team for that scenario in this building?
Well, you know, we felt like, you know, we could always win. I mean, it wasn't a matter of believing that we could win. We split on the year. Differential is always about a point. And so we came in and said, look, we got to play our game. We got to make other guys beat us, other than Shaq, other than Kobe. And that's the formula, I think, around the league. I mean, that these guys are so, you know, they're such great players. You got to put 2 guys on, 3 guys on at times and make others beat you.
Jimmy Jackson now has 9, and the Rockets lead by 3. Their lead has grown to as high as 9. Lakers have led by 3. Shaq across the lane, jump ball.
It was a great defensive play.
It sure was.
By Jimmy Jackson. He made a nice read. When his cutter went through, he released his cutter, handed him off to the weak side, and came back and got both hands on the ball. As soon as Kobe goes, he hands him off, comes back, and was able to get 2 hands and create the jump ball.
The Los Angeles Lakers have won 5 of their last 6 games over the Houston Rockets. They lead this series 3-1. This is game 5. And we are at the sold-out Staples Center in Los Angeles. Shaq in this game has gone 2 of 6, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Kobe Bryant also is the loose ball, works against Coutinho Mobley, playing with the 3 fouls, and he scoops it off. Kobe does to Shaq with a foul called inside underneath on the Rockets. And Jimmy Jackson picks up coach number 2.
You know, it's a good foul. Obviously, saves the basket, but, you know, sometimes you're sitting there and you're pointing to the floor when you're talking about Shaq. You may be better off saying, no, he was shooting. As long as he didn't get it up there.
That's right. Lakers for the game, 45%. Shaquille at the hand of Devin George.
You know, when they throw the ball into Shaq in the low post, the big man's got to take a step off to protect the cutter. Shaq wasn't going to do anything from 14, 15 feet with that ball, and he did a nice job of setting George up.
That was the first Laker field goal since late stages of that first half. 6:45 is expired. Going back to the second quarter before the Lakers found 2 from the field, a 3 from Jimmy Jackson. Rebound by Karl Malone. Lasso's his 7th. He's got 13 points.
Well, Malone's been very steady for them. Other than a couple of misses from the free throw line, he's been giving them everything they hoped for.
Cato is on Malone.
See, this time they did switch it. They hadn't been switching that screen on screen with the 2 bigs.
Now they go with Payton looking inside. Mobley knocked it away. Do you like that when they switch like that? And you like the matchups then that results?
I do, because they're equals. Why give somebody an advantage to turn the corner? Malone got one easy score early in the game. Shaq got another one. You know, makes total sense. Now, right now, you got to really watch the danger zone. Shaq is underneath the basket. I mean, this is the best play in basketball right here. They can just throw this thing right into Shaq before defense can get set.
He's a good passer, too, and finds Malone back on the wing as it bounces around. Francis grabs the rebound, and the Rockets are +2 in rebounding so far in this game. Houston comes the other way, shooting 47%. Mobley for 2, and he is stuck on 14. All of Mobley's points came in the first quarter. He is scoreless since then.
Well, you know, right there, actually, the shot, he had Yao going to the rim wide open. Those quick hitter pick and rolls before the defense has a chance to get set are the best ones.
Now they got numbers 3-on-1. Francis into George, and why not distribute on either side?
Well, again, that is one of those situations. Jimmy Jackson sitting on the weak side now saying, hey, you know what, if you make this pass, I got a 99% shot where, you know, right now you've got to go to the free throw line for 2.
Devin George just picked up
great tip to himself right here, but he should make the play right now before he's got a chance to make that foul. That could have been easy 2 points for Jimmy Jackson.
So here's Steve Francis at the free throw line. A guy who, again, for a 5th consecutive season has averaged over 15 points, over 5 rebounds, over 5 assists. Only a handful of players in the history of the game have done that their first 5 seasons in the NBA.
Steve Francis is a tremendous talent. I mean, there's no question about that. But what I've liked this year is, you know, Jeff Van Gundy's come in with a different style that Francis is used to playing, and he's done a nice job of trying to conform to what the team wants, how the team wants him to play.
Good point. Kobe Bryant's 20 points, leads all scorers in this game. The twirling Payton. Malone again open. Cato closed, and Malone takes it inside with the foul on the Rockets.
See, right there, the closeout was not under control. Malone hadn't made that shot, you know, for the last 10 minutes. You know, he's missed a bunch in a row. And instead, he knows that. He shows him the ball, and he takes him on the attack to the rim.
Stevie Francis picks up the foul with Houston leading by 3. That's the first on Francis. Free throw shooting in the game. Lakers are 9 of 16. Rockets are 10 of 12. And Karl Malone, 3 of 8, now 3 of 9. And don't miss Braves TBS Baseball Friday Night Extra. This Friday night, experience enhanced coverage as the Braves take on the Rockies. Hall of Fame slugger Harmon Killebrew joins the booth as a guest analyst. Braves Friday Night Extra this Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on TBS with Clipper coach Mike Dunleavy and Cheryl Miller, Kevin Harlan. Ed Collins a bit under the weather. He'll join us tomorrow in Sacramento. And here come the Rockets, who lead by 2. They've led by 9. Houston has trailed at one time by 3.
Now you've got 2 different dynamics going on right here. One is the free throws for the Lakers, and the other is the turnovers for the Rockets.
Kind of trying to cancel each other out. Jackson picks up the foul. That's number 3 on Jim Jackson.
Well, Jackson right here, looks like he gets tripped at half court and loses the ball. And, you know, Devin George recovers it. You know, Jimmy Jackson is frustrated by the non-call and just takes a foul on George.
The Lakers in this free throw campaign in this series, 64% for the series, 55% tonight. That is where they are struggling. And they're keeping Houston in it. Rockets by 2. Kobe with Yao on him. Payton guarded by Francis. They've got Jackson on Malone. Shot clock is down to 7. George. A 3-second violation inside, and that's the 2nd of the series, the 2nd of the game, and Shaq is tagged again with that violation.
Well, and he was in there for 3 seconds, but the ball should have been delivered earlier to him. It wouldn't have happened. The Lakers have been missing him, you know, a couple times in the paint.
Rockets have started 1 of 6 from the field in this quarter. It's Francis to Jackson for 3. Now the Rockets having a difficult time hitting the 3-point shots, and a Laker foul down low. Malone was near.
That was definitely on Malone.
Yep,
Malone pulled Cato back on the play.
2nd on Karl Malone.
That was one of them wrestling holds.
Well, he's wrestled before.
That's right.
Against Dennis Rodman, if I'm not mistaken.
And Dennis is in the building.
He is, with yellow hair and more tats than we can count. Mobley, Francis with Payton watching. Payton's got 4 fouls, so his defense is going to be a little bit limited.
No question. I mean, Francis wants to be in attack mode. He's had a bunch of in and out shots tonight.
Kobe Bryant into Shaq, and Shaq's got 4 points. He is now 3 of 8, and he wheels in for 2 there.
That was the most aggressive move Shaq has made all night long. He's been pretty passive in the paint.
4 of 10 3-point shooting for the Rockets. Lakers are 0 of 6 from 3-point territory. Here comes Mobley, scoreless since the first quarter. Yao Ming with a couple fouls, 8 points and 4 rebounds. Diving on the floor, timeout taken by the Houston Rockets.
You know, I really don't like that call. You're 7'6". Why would you call a timeout?
Yep.
No, you don't need a timeout to keep possession of the ball. You're 7'6". You're the biggest guy in the building, maybe the world. You know, who are you going to lose a jump ball to? Why waste your team's timeouts? You know, I'm coaching him. I'm saying, look, hey, don't ever call a timeout if you get a jump ball.
We've got a beauty in Los Angeles. Shaq and Yao, Kobe Bryant, and all the stories tailing him. We're tied at 52. The 2004 NBA playoffs tonight from Los Angeles on TNT are brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the NBA playoffs and finals, Southwest. And by Van Helsing on May 7th, adventure lives forever. And there's nothing more adventurous than the star of Sex and the City. Kristen Davis is here, which is coming to TBS on June 15th. She's a big Clipper fan. Came by to say hello to Mike Dunleavy before the game. We've got a Houston Rocket, Los Angeles Laker tie game at 52. Houston led by 3 at the end of 1. The Rockets led by a point at halftime. We've had 14 lead changes. We've had 8 ties. Rockets have been up by as many as 9. Lakers have led by a high point total of 3. Houston has missed their last 4 shots as they get set to inbound with Yao, Jackson, Francis, Cato. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And Steven Francis rejected by Shaquille O'Neal, picked up by Malone. Here comes Kobe Bryant the other way.
Great outlet pass by Karl Malone. He had a defensive back right on his hip, and he led him perfectly.
Devin George, Malone, Shaq, Kobe, and Peyton, the 5 out there for the Los Angeles Lakers. Halfway through this third quarter, Steve Francis. He's been cold tonight, 2 of 8, 10 points. 6 of those 10 for Francis have come from the free throw line. He was scoreless for a good part of the first half. Peyton playing with 4 fouls. Devin George hasn't scored all that well, and Malone drops it into George and off the Rockets in 9 seconds to shoot.
Well, you know, Malone just tried another great pass right here, but going into the paint right there, Shaq with a nice block. Karl catches it before he hits the ground, hits Kobe right in stride. And Mobley with 4 fouls already couldn't take a chance of getting that extra foul.
So Peyton's got 4 and Mobley's got 4. Shaq and Yao both with 2 fouls apiece. Shot clock at 5. Here's Bryant, and he tries to come up with something here. A wide open Karl Malone. Even with the outstretched arm of Yao Ming closing in, he leads Los Angeles on a 7-0 run, and the Lakers have their biggest lead tonight.
Well, Kobe milked that clock all the way down and found the wide open Malone, and that one was right out of his...
Rejected by Shaquille O'Neal. Yao goes tumbling down. The Rockets are 1 of 10 in this third quarter.
Shaq is now a defensive presence.
Here's Malone working on Kelvin Cato with the foul called on Cato of the Rockets. He's got 2.
Kobe finds 1 second on the clock. I mean, that's about 18-footer for Karl Malone. Nice in rhythm shot. If he starts making that one, it's going to be a long night for the Rockets.
Game 1, the Lakers won by a point. Game 2, the Lakers won by 12 here. Game 3, Houston won by 11. And over the weekend in overtime, Lakers with an overtime win of 4 points. In Houston, Kobe Bryant on the fly with a runner, rebound by Kelvin Cato. That's his 8th rebound of the night.
Again, putting you know, the Lakers putting the Rockets in pick and rolls. Kobe at the helm.
Jackson gets by George and penetrates inside with Shaq there, and a foul called with Shaquille O'Neal picking up number 3, and again Yao with 2 fouls. Shaq has 6 points, Yao has 8.
You know, the best way to attack the Lakers is basically with good ball movement, as is with most teams. But, you know, Shaq's mobility, you're trying to get him where you shift him from side to side and then be in attack mode, whether it be a quick pick and roll or quick swing the ball right there. Jackson was able to beat his man into the paint with a quick swing, and Shaq couldn't keep his hands straight up. He had to come down and commit the foul.
Here's Jim Jackson at the free throw line for the Houston Rockets, where he is making his first trip tonight. Nails that. He is now 8 of 9 from the free throw line in this series. Here's a guy who's played for 10 teams in 12 years. He was an influence on the Kings a season ago. He's been even more of an influence with the Rockets this year, Mike Dunleavy. He's played more minutes this year than he has in any of the previous 11 years in the NBA.
Well, I think this has been his best fit. You have an inside game with the Rockets. Jimmy at the small forward can be protected. He's an undersized small forward right now, but he can be protected by Yao Ming and Cato in the paint. And he's a very good ball handler and outside shooter, which this team needs.
And here comes the double team. O'Neal, a great passer, one of the more underrated parts of his game. That's deflected by Jackson. The shot clock at 2. Payton from way outside. And the rebound by Catino Mobley. And now the Lakers are only +1 in rebounding. Mobley from the wing and outside for Francis, dancing with George. Houston has not scored from the field in over 5 minutes. And into Yao, and this is what they needed to do. Another rejection by Shaquille O'Neal. He's got 3 blocks in the game.
I'm not sure if he got the ball on that one.
Here comes Payton. He's got 5 points, 2 of 4. Malone, Cato closing in.
That's a big one right there. Malone, a second shot in rhythm. The first one gave him confidence. That time, Cato came over on the rotation. He just froze him.
Lakers have their biggest lead now tonight, 58-53. Here comes Jackson. He's got 10 points, 4 of 13, Jimmy Jackson. And a 3, lost the ball. And it goes to Cato. The shot clock is down to 6. Francis, oh my goodness, he shot that from Van Hines. The Houston Rockets have missed 9 consecutive shots, and Jeff Van Gundy is furious.
That one right there, I mean, they had Francis got the ball about 6 seconds on the clock. There's plenty of time to still make a last play, either a pick and roll or some kind of play ender.
Here comes Payton, off to Kobe Bryant, and a foul called on Kelvin Cato.
The Rockets are in a danger zone right now. I mean, they got the momentum going against them right here. Right there, you see Jimmy Jackson lose the ball. That's illegal. That's a legal play. But right now, I mean, again, Steve Francis probably 5 or 6 feet behind the three-point line, and the clock wasn't down at 1 second at that point, although he may have thought it was.
Let's revisit this Kobe Bryant situation, who has come in tonight to play 32 minutes. He's gone for 22 points, a 4-4 night from the free throw line. It is amazing to me that with all the things going on in his personal life, that the play on the floor, for the most part, has been ineffective, unaffected by what he is going through. I mean, this is, again today, the commute from Eagle, Colorado back here, showing up minutes before tip-off and not missing a stride.
His ability to concentrate and his tough-mindedness. I mean, he's a guy that wants it every single night, and you hope that this becomes, maybe it's his outlet, and that's what he's getting from this, but it's really amazing to see him do it. I mean, he would have the perfect excuse in anybody's book, but he's been just terrific.
He's got a game-high 24 points. Houston has scored only 5 points, the Rockets have, in this third quarter. Cato trying to set a screen. George fighting through it, and Jimmy's got to try to create on his own. There's a foul. It's on Kelvin Cato.
Tell you what, Devin George has done an incredible job defensively. He's really been doing a great job of stopping penetration by Jimmy Jackson, by Catino Mobley at times. And right there, he gets a call because how aggressively he was playing.
The Los Angeles Lakers are trying to close out this series. They lead 3-1. This is game 5. A win. They get by the Rockets and cast their eyes to the Alamo City of San Antonio. Kobe Bryant has made the commute from California to Colorado for his legal issues in Eagle, Colorado 3 times. He come back the night of a game, like right here with the game-winning shot back in mid-December against the Denver Nuggets. That was here in Los Angeles, and the Lakers won by a couple. Then it happened in March again, late March, with some pre-trial hearings. And then he comes out in the game against the very tough rival Sacramento Kings and puts up 36 in 37 minutes, not missing a stroke from the free throw line, and unaffected in that game. And tonight he comes in after the same commute, 3rd time he has done it, and tonight he's played all but 1 minute. He's poured in 24, He's grabbed 5 rebounds. He's handed out 8 assists. And look, he's played all but a minute, like I said, in this game for the Los Angeles Lakers.
You know, it's really incredible. I mean, obviously getting off the plane, it's a wearing tough day on him physically to play that many minutes. And also, we haven't even talked about the fact he's done a great job defensively on Cuttino Mobley since the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Mobley is playing with 3 fouls, and that is something to keep an eye on. Payton's got 4. Kelvin Cato just picked up his 4th foul for Houston. Garrett Fisher in the game now for the first time in this third quarter. And a rebound by Mo Taylor. And a foul on Taylor, who went for that rebound, edging out Medvedenko, checks in for the Lakers. Taylor picks up his 3rd.
You know, when Kobe came in tonight in that tunnel at this shot right here, he looks like he's tired, but you couldn't tell it from the way he's played tonight. Well, just a decoy, maybe.
They had a uniform on the plane for him, but he made some pretty good time from the airport here to the arena in downtown Los Angeles. And if you're at all familiar with Southern California traffic, you know that he made great time, and he's having a good time tonight. And away from his legal issues, 61-53 Lakers. Medvedenko hits again. He did not play but 4 minutes in the last game because of injury. Lakers have their biggest lead of 9. In fact, now each team is led by as many as 9 in the game. Lakers from the free throw line, 14 of 22. Here's a steal, and buckle up for Devin George. And a foul on Maurice Taylor.
You know, again, for the Rockets, another turnover. And unfortunately for them, it's on a good cut where it should have translated into a basket or free throws. Instead, it goes the other way, and it has a 4-point swing on that play.
Mo Taylor picks up his 4th foul, so Kelvin Cato has 4, and Taylor's got 4 for the Rockets. 4 on Gary Payton, and those are the players to keep an eye on. And Jackson, Mobley, Francis, Taylor, and Yao, the Rocket 5. With George, Bryant, Fisher, Medvedenko, and Malone. Gary Payton and Shaq watching from the sideline. Shaq with 6 points and 7 rebounds in 30 minutes, and Payton 5 points, 3 assists in 22 minutes. Payton again with the 4 fouls. L.A. Mike Dunleavy on a 15-1 run.
And they've got to get Yao the ball in the low post right now, and he's got to go to work with Shaq out of the game.
Yao has gone 3 of 10. Malone right there, size advantage for Yao Ming. Grinding his way across the lane, knocked away, and a Karl Malone foul. Rockets from the line tonight, 11 of 14. But the turnover story continues to be a haunting one for the Rockets. They've got 16 turnovers for the game. They had 14 at halftime, so only 2 in this third quarter as Malone picks up his 3rd foul for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they got to hold these turnovers down, obviously, the rest of the way. But they've got to find some way to score. I mean, they've hit a drought. You know, the outside shots aren't falling for them anymore. They're not getting to the rim as easily. They've got to establish a low post game from somewhere.
The Lakers in free throw attempts tonight are +8, and for the series, Los Angeles +29 free throw attempts.
Well, that's expected because of the presence of Shaq. They're going to get to the free throw line more than the opponent, but the question is how many they're going to make.
Here's Malone. Lakers have taken 4 more shots from the field. And Yao gets a hand on that attempt inside as we approach 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
They've got numbers. They got to make it happen right here.
Francis and Jackson with Kobe right there. Now doubled by Malone. Squeezing inside. Knocked away by Medvedenko and picked up by Kobe Bryant. And Bryant in the open floor, gliding in and puts it down.
It's a great finish right there. There's some contact on the play. He looked for Malone. Malone basically made that play. He ran the floor hard, drew 1 defender with him, and then allowed Kobe to attack the rim.
Houston has missed their last 10 shots. Another turnover. Number 17 for the Rockets. Medvedenko with the interception. Bryant with 26. That's a game high. And Karl Malone's got 18. 9 rebounds. Got a double-double in game 4. Kobe Bryant for 3.
That's the uncanny ability right there. It's one thing to be able to take the ball to the rim, but to take that big shot and bury it.
That is the first three-point hit for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. First three-pointer by any Laker, and it comes with under a minute to play in this third. Mobley slashing inside for two.
Good attack by Mobley.
So the Laker lead has climbed as high as 14 points. Rockets led by 9, but that was very early in the game. That breaks a Rocket drought from the field of 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Bryant lasers one outside. Kevin George.
You know, right now, Bryant's just playing with them. I mean, he's usually running pick and rolls. They're trying to trap him. He's splitting double teams. He's making plays. He's scoring. He's doing it all.
And Francis against Fisher. Inside. Rebound by Devin George. No fouls to give either way. And the Lakers are +3 in rebounding tonight. Lakers are shooting 48%. Here comes Kobe Bryant. Third quarter clock winding down. Bryant and Fisher. And inside. Will not count. Will not count. That takes us to the end of 3. The Rockets had 9 points in the third quarter. That's the second lowest scoring quarter in franchise playoff history. Kobe Bryant with an incredible performance in a very taxing time with 29 points to lead all scorers. For the Houston Rockets, it's win or go home. And right now, as we go to the fourth, they trail the Lakers 72-57 on TNT. Time is running out on the Houston Rockets, who were outscored in the final 7:05 of that third quarter, 23-5. With Clipper coach Mike Dunleavy and Cheryl Miller, Kevin Harlan, Doug Collins have been under the weather. We'll see him tomorrow in Sacramento. Great to have you with us tonight. 25-9 was the score in that third quarter. Here comes Shaquille O'Neal inside. Medvedenko tried to punch it in, and Francis in there grabbing the rebound with a Medvedenko foul for the Los Angeles Lakers. In this series, Mike, when Los Angeles has gone to the fourth quarter with the lead, they're 2-0. When the Lakers in the regular season had a lead starting the fourth, 43-4, an ungodly number.
Well, the first thing is the third quarter, their tenacious defense is what set the tone. And, you know, in a short game, a 12-minute game, you've got a finisher like Kobe Bryant. That's why you have the record. He's like one of those great relief pitchers in baseball, a guy that's a closer. And, you know, they've got the ultimate closer.
Medvedenko just picked up his foul. Number 2 on him. Boston Nakbar is in for the Rockets with Francis. And Kelvin Cato with 4 fouls on him. Jackson with the ball. Mo Taylor, that's the Rocket 5. And Kobe Bryant just picks up a foul on Jimmy Jackson. And Kareem Rush is out there. Kobe's got 3 fouls. Kareem Rush is out there with Kobe, Shaq, Medvedenko, and Fisher. And that sets up the lineups to begin this fourth quarter with the Rockets down by a game-high 15-point deficit. Francis has been quiet, 10 points, but only 2 of 11 from the field. Cato is screened.
See, they've been playing pick and roll with Francis all night long, and he hasn't been able to make shots for them, and that's a big thing. I mean, he's come off, he's had some clean looks, but just hasn't been able to knock them down.
Foul on Francis, so that screen and roll defense for the Lakers has been pretty effective.
Well, they have, because the open shots that they've been able to get, they haven't been able to knock down. So it's allowed them to play it, you know, semi-aggressively, but not having to really jump out and trap.
Shaquille O'Neal has 6 points. Yao Ming has 10. Yao's on the bench right now. Medvedenko, Rush looking for Shaq inside. Shaq has gone 3 of 9. Medvedenko for 2.
Well, that's what he can do. You know, I mean, if he gets a rhythm, he's had some back spasms, you know, earlier in this series. But, you know, if he can come in and knock down the wide open 17-footer, he gives him a big lift.
Rockets have scored just 1 from the field in the last 11 minutes. Get past Nakbar inside, and the assist to Mo Taylor.
Very nice cut and very nice pass by Mo Taylor.
Fisher sure gives the Lakers some grittiness, doesn't he?
Well, he's a tough guy, and he's been through a lot of these wars now for them. And, you know, we made fun of him before about flopping and getting calls. But he's been terrific at the defensive end and making big plays.
Shaq taps it in, and this is the biggest lead the Lakers have had tonight, 17 points. With Taylor trying to shed Medvedenko, knocked away by Kobe Bryant. He tries to leap ahead. Medvedenko like a guard through traffic, tumbling down, and they thought he was traveling, but it's a foul instead on Steve Francis. He's got 3.
And a big fella getting out in the open court trying to show point guard skills. Lucky somebody tripped him. He probably would have fell over on his own.
Well, the Rockets have now sunk to 40% from the field, and that was one of the things we were watching tonight, because 45% or better, the Rockets have a pretty good record, but tonight 40%, they're spiraling downward. They've committed a lot of turnovers. It doesn't look like they're going to get to 90 points. All key facets to try to get a feel for what the Rockets might do tonight. As Shaq gets it inside to Stanislav Medvedenko. Shaq has his 4th assist, and the Los Angeles Lakers are thinking about ending this series for Jeff Van Gundy and the Rockets.
The thing about the Rockets tonight, they hit a stretch there in the 3rd quarter with the aggressive defense of the Lakers, and kind of lost their poise a little bit. You know, as far as instead of making easy plays, they try to hurry things up and try to force the issue. Shaq gets a great read right here. Sees the double team coming, and nobody on the weak side picks up Medvedenko when he slips to the basket.
Rockets now going through their largest deficit of this series. And this is not an offensive team, the Rockets aren't. Their calling card is defense. They've got to play with the lead. It's tough for them to play from behind.
Well, you know, I mean, from the most part of the season, I mean, they've tried to slow it down and let their big guys defend in the paint and keep the numbers tight. And you know, the games, obviously, when you got Francis getting out and making shots and Mobley making shots, that's when they're at their best.
The Lakers are 10 minutes away from setting their sights on the 2nd round opponent, the San Antonio Spurs. In Los Angeles tonight, let's take a look at our Gatorade X Factor of the game. Why not Kobe Bryant? Because he has done it all tonight. With all the things going on in his life, 37 minutes, 29 points, 11 of 18 from the field. He's gone 6 of 6 from the line. He's hit a 3-point shot and 9 assists. He has done it all for Los Angeles.
Well, I mean, coming off the plane, coming in, first of all, gets off to a little bit slow start defensively with Mobley going off on him, calms him down for the next 3 quarters, and goes to work offensively, doing everything he can possibly do, making plays, making shots, getting to the free throw line.
And here comes Maurice Taylor into Medvedenko. And kept in play by Cato. Gets it out to Francis. Shot clock at 5. Did not hit the rim. And Coutinho Mobley has only scored 2 points since the 1st quarter. There's an offensive rebound. That's basically the same tonight. Mobley again with a miss. Offensive rebounding basically the same, but the difference has been points in the paint. Lakers are plus 14 points in the paint and plus 11 in fast break points.
Well, the other big differential is points off of turnovers. They've got 27 points to the 9 points that the Rockets have gotten off Laker turnovers.
Kobe Bryant, Medvedenko, Fisher, great ball rotation. Rush into Shaq, who's got 8 points. And Russell's inside, and a foul on Shaquille O'Neal. He now has 4 fouls as Yao continues to sit on the bench. Houston had 11 points this half in 15 minutes. 3 of 20 with 6 turnovers.
Well, the shot clock violation last time down. Okay. You know, they left Shaq hanging out to dry there. Didn't let him know what the clock was.
He thought he had committed the foul. Here comes Francis. Into Fisher. Rebound by Medvedenko. Lakers are plus 4 in rebounding. They come the other way, shooting 48%. Rockets shooting 37%.
Kobe Bryant just running the pick and roll of death right now. Great pass to
what
Shaq.
A pass. Kobe to Shaq. Kobe Bryant's got the double-double. 10 assists and 29 points for Kobe Bryant.
Well, I mean, the crack that he finds this one through 3 guys, puts the pass right on the money to Shaq, and a great finish on the follow-through.
And Shaq can't hit the free throw, and he is 0 of 2 from the line tonight with his 10 points and 9 rebounds.
I hate to say it, but when you're down this many points, your only chance is to go to hack a Shaq. Put him on the free throw line and make him. Let's see if he can make points.
LA this half has outscored the Rockets 33-11. Another turnover. Number 20. Number 20. Fisher against Francis. Boston Nakbar guarding Kobe. And he tried to whip it inside, and Kelvin Cato was defending. And Cato picks up his 5th personal foul.
See, right now, I'd put a guy in the game. One of the guys I'm not going to use. I'd foul a couple times, get us in the bonus early, and start to try and break the rhythm of the game right now from the Lakers' standpoint. Put Shaq on the line, see if he can make free throws, see if we can come down, gain some kind of momentum, and then come back with maybe my horses.
But down by 21.
No, you got to show. I mean, the only way you can win is by stopping the clock.
Absolutely.
So I mean, right now that'd be the strategy I'd go to.
And Kobe Bryant, great fake on Mobley. Kobe Bryant has 31 points and 10 assists.
And he was so quick on that move. It was like Jack in the Box.
Nakbar finds Yao Ming, who's got 10 points. They go inside. And Medvedenko picks up a foul. That's number 3 on him.
Good find by Yao on that double.
Nice deceptive move by Bryant at the other end on offense.
Don't you like to call it the torture chamber?
The torture chamber. He needs one more guy that'll pinch him a little bit harder.
Boy, oh boy.
He's something, isn't he?
Just an amazing talent. But even more than the physical talent is the mental part of his game. His mindset, his ability. The only negative you have about Kobe Bryant is some nights he just tries a little bit too hard. To try and not trusting other guys to do it, to help him do it.
That's fluctuated a lot as Taylor hits the first, because there have been times when Bryant is assist first, pass first, and shoot second. But it's when he's got that blend going, like tonight with the 10 assists, that he's at his optimum.
He gets you in that crossfire. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Eight points for Taylor. The Lakers tonight have taken 25 free throw attempts to the Rockets' 18 free throw attempts. Kobe Bryant began the game 0 of 3. He is now 12 of 19, so he has really been on a tear. There's Mobley on it. Well, Russell. Kobe knocked away an all ball by Coutinho Mobley. Out of bounds, and the shot clock at 2.
It's probably better off for them. They can run a set play from side out of bounds right now. I mean, it's going to be a direct pass to Shaq unless he's going to tip it right back to Kobe stepping in bounds.
Shaq. When you've watched this series, as you have, is the playoff experience taking hold as you've seen one game pass into another?
Well, I think, the Rockets standpoint, that's what they're lacking. They don't have guys that had a lot of playoff experience where the Lakers have, and it shows up here in the tight games.
Couple of close in misses by the Houston Rockets, and now we're under 7 to play with Kobe Bryant and the Lakers up by an 82-61 count. Their lead has grown as high as 23. Kobe Bryant launching a 3, and Yao chasing it down, and it'll go out of bounds.
They haven't taught him in China about getting stats. All the American kids will be fighting for that ball.
Because that was a rebound in the middle.
That was a rebound waiting to happen right there. He could have reached over and picked it up. That was the polite thing to do.
Here comes Mobley. Well, 45-win season for the Houston Rockets as Mark Jackson, who they got out of retirement and coerced him to come back into the NBA, putting up an air ball. He is 0 of 1 tonight. He's played 6 minutes. But the Rockets make their first playoff appearance under coach Jeff Van Gundy in 5 years as Kobe Bryant will leave the floor with a game-high 31. But the Rockets certainly now can hang their hat on this season. Yao, another year of experience, and Ewing is on the staff to teach him, and a good-looking two-point shot by Derek Fisher.
They've got a great nucleus to carry them forward. There's no question about that. They're very young. They're athletic. They've got great size. They established themselves as a great defensive team this year. And this guy right here, he's not going to have very many of these kind of series where he's taken out because of a strength factor.
That is another turnover. And rush out to Luke Walton and into Medvedenko. And that basically will seal it for the Los Angeles Lakers if it already wasn't closed. We have 5:33 left. It's go home for the Houston Rockets. And for the Los Angeles Lakers, set your sights on the San Antonio Spurs, rested and watching in Texas. What a second-round matchup that will be on TNT. Timeout. Tonight from Los Angeles, the 2004 NBA playoffs on TNT are being brought to you by Hyundai. Visit NBA.com and enter to win a new Hyundai Santa Fe. By Lamisil AT, the official athlete's foot treatment of the NBA. And by IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. And by Wendy's new Chicken Temptations. It's better here. It's better for the Lakers in the Staples Center, who are climbing all over the Houston Rockets tonight. And now they set their sights on the San Antonio Spurs, Mike Dunleavy. Last 5 titles have been shared by these two franchises. Last year, the Spurs. And before that, the Los Angeles Lakers. 99, San Antonio won it. A lot of history with these two franchises. They're going to meet beginning next week.
Well, the sad part about it is that it happens in the second round, as far as I'm concerned, because, these are the two premier teams as far as the West is concerned. I know you got Minnesota, you got Sacramento sitting out there saying, we're in the mix. But the reality of it is they're the ones that have done it. They've got the experience, they've carried forward, and it's going to take a lot to beat them.
Los Angeles Lakers beat the San Antonio Spurs 3-1, as you can see. Only one game Tim Duncan did not play. There was a technical foul called just before we went to commercial break. In fact, we were in our commercial break. It went on Steve Francis.
Well, it was a frustration play. The play down the floor before Francis felt like he was fouled, and then when the play was called, the N1 on Medvedenko coming back the other end, he just lost it.
And Derek Fisher will be at the free throw line. Fisher tonight from the field has gone 2 of 6 from the line, 0 of 1, 4 points, and he has not played the significant minutes tonight and did not in the last game. But I will tell you that those first couple games of this series, he was very instrumental for the Los Angeles Lakers. They built a 2-0 lead.
The thing about it is these guys have been there. They've been around. They've got that experience to draw from. They can come in a game, whether you play them 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes, and do the things necessary to help you win.
Rockets have not scored from the field in the last 5 minutes. They missed their last 8 shots, and they got Luke Walton, the rookie, and now Shaquille way outside on Jimmy Jackson as Francis tries to maneuver and does successfully on Derek Fisher.
Well, Shaq, that was impressive. See the big fella out there moving his feet, playing Jimmy Jackson one-on-one.
Well, there have been some complaints in the press that Phil Jackson thought that Shaq was getting tired at the end of these games, so what we saw was a good sign. And he's got a bad right knee. He's been complaining of tendinitis in that right knee. He has not practiced the last 3 days.
Well, the only thing tender about him is his free throw shooting. Everything else, I think, is terrific.
Tough as nails, Shaquille O'Neal. And Shaq has 12 and 9 rebounds the other way, skying Steve Francis, and he's got 12 in the game.
These kind of numbers are almost meaningless, right now. I mean, unfortunately, Steve wasn't able to get it going early. He had some really good looks. He made some good decisions as far as the shot selection. They just didn't drop for him.
The NBA has informed us that the first game of the Lakers-San Antonio series will be Sunday on ABC. They go inside to Walton, quick pass to Medvedenko.
That was a terrific read by Walton. He saw the weak side defense rotate to him, and He knew he had the weak side cutter from the corner coming, and he delivered the ball perfectly.
Medvedev's got 10 in the quarter. Here's another shot outside from Francis. Where were these early in the game when they needed him most?
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, I mean, sometimes when there's a little bit more pressure or they just don't drop for you, you start pressing a little bit. Right now, it looks like, you know, it's pretty much over. This game's been decided, so it's a little bit easier to stroke the ball.
Scott Paget in for the first time in this game for the Houston Rockets as we're under 4 minutes to play. And here's Kareem Rush launching a three.
Now, Kareem's a really good shooter with his feet standing still. You know, on the move is part of the game I think he's got to improve in.
Rockets early in the game were up by 9. And the Lakers kept chiseling away at that lead. Here's a three by Derek Fisher. Kelvin Cato, who has been playing in some foul problems, lassos his 10th rebound of the night. Mark Jackson, this may be the final NBA season for him. Like we said before, they got him out of retirement as Jimmy Jackson comes on the reverse. Like Mark Jackson has had some kind of run in the NBA.
I mean, like you said, the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Now, Mark, you know, I mean, he's got such a great mind for the game and feel for the game. He's a great guy to have around a team just, you know, from a teaching standpoint. So you never know. I wouldn't shut the door on him.
He could be a coach someday. He could be a great broadcaster as he's done some work for NBA TV. Kareem Rush. Rebound is pulled off by Kelvin Cato. Jackson at 39. There's Scott Paget and looks inside for Jackson. Last year, you may recall, the San Antonio Spurs eliminated Los Angeles in the second round. But now the Los Angeles Lakers have 4 future Hall of Famers on the floor. They don't rebuild in Los Angeles, they reload. And they are ready for the Alamo City on Sunday in the second round.
Southwest Airlines game break coming up in just a few minutes. It'll be Inside the NBA presented by Hyundai. I'm Ernie Johnson. Charles will be here, and so will Kenny, and so will the fishing hat. I'm sure we'll have something to honor the Houston Rockets in their playoff run. We'll have a report from San Antonio on what the Spurs have been doing. They've been waiting around for the winner of this series, and now they know it's going to be the Lakers. Kevin.
All right, EJ, thank you very much. 91-69 is our score here. Mike Dunleavy was called mid-afternoon today when we found out that Doug Collins could not vocally get on the air tonight. He is battling a virus. We'll see him tomorrow night in Sacramento. But great job. Of course, he's done TV work before with NBC and the San Antonio Spurs. And you didn't miss a beat tonight.
Oh, this is a lot of fun working with you, the master.
Yeah.
Your shoulders aren't buckled yet, so you're doing all right.
You were terrific. You're headed over to Europe, I understand, here shortly.
I am on Sunday.
Going over to scout some talent.
Going to see some players, that I need to see, potential lottery picks, and a couple of guys that we have, sights on.
Of course, the Clippers play in this building, in the Staples Center, and have good crowds themselves and a promising season under Mike Dunleavy as Paget puts up the miss in this 20-point Laker lead and 2.5 to play in the game.
Well, right now, this is valuable time for some of these guys coming off the bench. It may seem like it's nothing, but to be able to get a rhythm in a game and knock down some shots to gain some confidence, you got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Can help you for your next series.
Like Rick Fox, who just hit his first field goal in 73 minutes in the series, and a rebound by Brian Cook out there with Walton. Brian Russell is on the floor. Rick Fox with it again. Derek Fisher, that's the 5 on the floor for the Los Angeles Lakers, and here comes Fisher, guarded by Mike Wilkes, and hits another jump shot. Well, the Rockets led by 9 early in the game, and they came out with intensity. They weren't turning the ball over. Mobley had 14 in the first quarter, and from that point on, it spiraled downward, although the Rockets led by a point at halftime.
Well, again, it was their Achilles heel has been turnovers all year long. When they've run into bad stretches, that's been the cause. And for the most part, their defense is solid, but offensively is where they struggle.
21 turnovers for Jeff Van Gundy's Houston Rockets. And that was part of their undoing tonight. Jimmy Jackson, as the field goal percentage begins to climb now over 40%. Lakers shooting 50% tonight from the field, and Kobe Bryant had 31 points and 10 rebounds. Karl Malone 18 points and 9 rebounds. And Jackson with the steal. Knock ball, trying to angle his way in. Well, tomorrow we've got a terrific doubleheader for you here on TNT. The playoffs continue. The Bucks will take on the Detroit Pistons, and that beauty in Sacramento will be up there for the Dallas Mavericks and the Kings. Game 5 action coverage beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern time as Denzel Washington watches here. Then Friday night on ESPN, Miami will host New Orleans. Minnesota will play Denver. 2 good games there. David Spade watching. 97-74. Now 97-75. The Rockets will have lost to the Los Angeles Lakers 6 of their last 7 games. Going over the playoffs in the regular season. And they'll take this series 4 games to 1. Out of bounds, 49 seconds left. It's part of the future for the Houston Rockets. That is a very interesting backcourt with Francis and Mobley. They have been together as long as any backcourt in the NBA. You think of Baron Davis down in New Orleans with David Wesley.
Well, they're extremely talented. Very good one-on-one players. Both can take you off the dribble. Both can make the long-range shot. Trying to play a different style this year, and I think over the next year or so, you'll see them get better at doing what Jeff Van Gundy wants them to do.
And Fisher for 3. Badger with the rebound, and the final seconds ticking off here in Los Angeles. Mark Jackson trying to go through all kinds of yellow jerseys and had it taken away. Turnover number 22 for the Houston Rockets. And the Los Angeles Lakers advance to the second round. And for the Houston Rockets, their season has come to a conclusion. It's an impressive first-round series win for the Lakers over the Rockets, who now will take on the San Antonio Spurs. But what is even more impressive is that Phil Jackson, in first-round series as an NBA coach, is 14-0. 14-0.
Pretty amazing.
That is unbelievable. And there goes Phil Jackson, getting ready to go to Texas. And let's take you now to Cheryl Miller.
Probably Phil Jackson said before the game he was a little nervous that you guys might get off to a slow start early. It seemed like you guys were able to find your rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, we just had to keep plugging at it. Our defense really bailed us out today because we were able to get a lot of easy baskets. And because of that, we were able to get some rhythm.
It seemed like you looked a little tired. Obviously, you had a very long day when you're walking in the tunnel. Did it take you a long time to get your legs going?
It did. It did. It took me a while just to get my legs underneath me. Once I got up and down the court a couple times, I felt pretty good.
Monday, you had the opportunity for a rematch against the Spurs. How do you guys feel that you match up against them?
We feel like we match up very well. They're a deep team. They're solid. And, we're looking forward to the challenge.
They were able to close you guys out on your home floor in 6 games. A little revenge headed into Monday's game?
Last year they played a great series. We had our chances to win it. Didn't happen for us. This year, see if we can turn the table.
All right, sensational. Thanks a lot for the interview. Let's send it back over to you, Kevin.
All right, he had 31 tonight. He finishes this first-round series with 24 points, averaging 5 rebounds and 6 assists. So Mike Dunleavy, our heartfelt thanks for jumping in for our beleaguered comrade Doug Collins, who is under the weather tonight. We'll see him tomorrow in Sacramento, and we'll see you down the road with your Los Angeles Clippers.
I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
I did too. 97-78. The Los Angeles Lakers win this Game 5 and win the series 4 games to 1. Los Angeles has now won 18 of their last 22. They're headed for San Antonio, seeking revenge for their loss last year in round 2 to the Spurs. For Mike Dunleavy and Cheryl Miller, Kevin Harlan saying so long as we take you to Atlanta.